Okay, go right ahead, Ms. Staudenmaier.
Thank you. Brenda Staudenmaier, 1278 Doty Street. Good evening, City of Green Bay Protection and Policy Committee. I'd like to Galvin for recommending this topic and you all for giving it your close attention and care. We're here to discuss rescinding the fluoridation resolution that was approved in July of 1957. The mayor at the time called fluoride a poison and wanted a referendum before the program began. Instead, with pressure from special interests, council took it upon themselves to require the addition of 1.5 parts per million artificial fluoride chemicals to our drinking water. In the decades since then, and especially the past few years, much has come to light on what a mistake this was. The amount of 1.5 parts per million has been concluded to be a cognitive neurodevelopmental hazard to humans by the National Toxicology Program's systematic review draft last year. This shows how easy it is for something to be touted for decades as safe and effective, while in reality it's not. Presently, the level of fluoride allowed in drinking water is much higher at 2 to 4 parts per million, while the promoted safe level is now at 0.7 parts per million. Either way, the margin of safety is either very low or non-existent, and at the dosage, we cannot be controlled on the individual level. This goes against all modern principles of pharmacology. I want you to be sure that you all understand that there is no federal or state mandate to fluoridate. Since 2016, 16 communities in Wisconsin have stopped adding fluoride to their drinking water supply. Council has the unilateral ability to end this and are responsible for any harm coming from fluoride if you decide to continue it. It is in your purview and your responsibility to supervise this program accordingly. It is time to end it. I'm part of a federal lawsuit against the US EPA over the denial of our petition, which included almost 200 studies demonstrating that fluoride is a neurotoxin. I come before you today with my two lawyers, Michael Conant and Chris Nidell, and some of the leading researchers on fluoride to share the information we have learned since our 2016 petition. Much of the most important fluoride research on levels found in water and neurotoxicity have been done in the past few years, showing there is clearly an unreasonable risk present. It can damage the brain at critical times of child development. The National Institutes of Health has funded the most rigorous and well-done studies to date in the impact of fluoride on neurodevelopmental. These studies were done long after most fluoride-promoting talking points were created. The artificial chemical hydrofluorosilicic acid that the Green Bay Water Utility uses for fluoride is a toxic waste byproduct from the phosphate fertilizer industry. This substance is not a pharmaceutical-grade chemical, and it is not used in any dental product. It is not sodium fluoride. It is not a mineral. It is not like calcium fluoride. It is not a nutrient. It is not like iodine or anything the body needs for proper function. It is not used to clean the water. It is not chlorine. It is a highly reactive halogen and is a toxin. Swallowing fluoride comes with many risks. It is harmful to the thyroid and so has a severe effect on those with thyroid disease. It is specifically harmful for developing babies in the womb and infants up to 6 months. When baby brains are damaged from exposure to toxins like fluoride and lead, they are more prone to behavioral issues, learning disabilities, ADHD, higher crime rates, and mental health issues. Stopping this program will help alleviate stresses on schools like Washington Middle School and other local schools where behavioral problems have shadowed learning. When I was pregnant with my son in 2010, living in Green Bay, it was difficult to avoid fluoride. I was low income and barely had enough money to pay rent and bills. I did not know what I know today about fluoride and the effects to developing infant brains. I am sure I exposed him during pregnancy and the critical times in life to neurotoxic fluoride from the Green Bay City water supply. He repeated kindergarten at house school because he had behavioral issues. If you're worried about teeth, we have a great free oral health program through Oral Health Partnership in the parking lot of House School, where there is an epidemic of tooth decay in a fluoridated community. There is also free dental programs at the Salvation Army Kroc Center, Oral Health Partnership West, and NWTC. Fluoride can be used topically by those desired, and it is entirely unnecessary to force everyone to drink it. There is no use for fluoride in a developing baby or infant until their teeth erupt. Adding fluoride to city water harms the most vulnerable during the most critical time in their life, and it cannot be fixed. A tooth can be repaired. A broken brain is forever a broken brain. Like I said earlier, broken brains lead to higher crime rates, burdens on schools and special educational programs, and increases in mental health issues. I'm asking you to please support me in voting to turn off the artificial chemical fluoride dosing pumps and protect the vulnerable brains of our children and our future citizens of Green Bay. I would like to end with a quote. Don't mess around with fluoride, it's dangerous. Turn it off and never turn it on again. It is not the job of the city to dose any substance into the community drinking water for the sole purpose of achieving a medical result. If you continue, you're morally corrupt. Aaron Brockovich.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you. Sorry. I like to wing it and I hate reading, but.
Well, you did fine. I thought you were a newscaster. Are there any questions that anybody would like to ask of Brenda?